proceed to the quest.
I hate you. I'm throwing around the link now. Okay, do everyone link and we and heck no. Da.
Are you sure about that, Taco? Are you sure that EO is very bullyable?
No, do not bully the EO. That way leads to nonsense.
Define nonsense.
Gremlin.
You say that like that isn't my plan.
Like mana?
Yes, I've
It's my word she breaks
You're
the
on
fucking
nose.
day.
Like mana in Mythos?
No, yeah, literally, because that
Mana
is
was
what
not the game breaker in Mythos
Mana
for everything
literally
that
exists to enable mana half the time. It's hilarious.
Mana, yeah, mana was a fucking riot. I had fun things planned for her. That's why part of why I'm going from things reboot. Okay, you make da 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 da. What the fuck? Okay, there's the SV Discord. I lurk in the formerly official one.
like the way the bounces are, but they are definitely hard to control. I'm doing other dumb shit on the side.
Okay.
I just wanted to make
Also,
Sarah really
me
big.
bringing up Doom clocks. The draw has literally never been relevant.
Yeah, draw's kind of a Doom Clock. Kind of isn't. It's a slow one. You guys have made. You guys can play around. It's one with built-in ways to play around it.
That is designed to be played around so that you respect certain mechanics. It's literally all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the funniest thing is Lucine's draw is we are getting close to the point where Lucine stops having a draw clock.
Yes, because she becomes a dragon.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Anyway, so
starts giving everyone else a buffer against it.
Anyways, yeah. Anyways, so
all you'd be able to do as a buffer, it would not be immunity.
Anyway,
let me just throw the stream in one last place.
Eel might eventually be immune at some point too, because Earth bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so okay, so we are ready. Hey, welcome to the stream. So, hey, everyone, welcome to Drakopocalypse. I'm your wonderful GM, Arcos. With me tonight are Mio, Io.
Hi.
Lucy and Erie.
She hates me.
In an affectionate way, yes. Sion Sylvan. Sion.
I think Sylvan's just muted.
Oh, oop. Sylvan.
This is off to a great start.
It's fine. It's fine. and then Kirab, Atomic Taco, aka Mon. Okay. Yes, Sylvan's here.
The local war crime gremlin.
Okay, Sylvan's here. She's just not able to talk right now. As you may notice, John and Ashley's in the R20 season here. John and Ashley's players came in Taco Cat had IRL happen. Thankfully, the sessions mostly RP and mostly on stuff RP, and I was able to jigger stuff around, so they will be one after the. Oh, the players are a bit quiet. Give me a second to fix that. Thank you for letting me know.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
I know it is. It's the speaker audio. I have to drag it down for when I play some louder games, and then that makes you guys come out quieter. When I switch to this. Test now. How does that sound?
According to all known laws of aviation, a bee should not be able to.
Oh God!
Oh my fucking God!
That one never gets old.
It really doesn't.
It really doesn't. How is that now, Zal?
If I recall correctly, bees being able to fly is more because of their size than literally anything else.
Yeah, they basically swim through the air, if I understand correctly, due to how their size compared to the air particles.
Yep. It was definitely something like that.
Yeah, how does that sound, Zal? Okay, fixed it.
Yep, we're good.
So last time the players arrived at Rome, blew up some dragons, met the Vatican dudes. They met two
Then flew
NPCs.
up another dragon in style.
Yeah. Jeremiah has been buffed, I will say this.
That's probably a good move.
And by buff, I mean I've given him a ranged attack. Do you want to know what I'm calling it?
What?
Holy Laser
Magic
Shield
missile?
Beam. Ranger increment 50. It's basically just a shield bass attack, but it does a radiant. But he gets a choice between doing the damage in radiant or blinding an enemy without a save for a round, because the save is him hitting them. If he blinds a dragon in
So
the air, it drops.
basically, he's just Gallop one.
And if he blinds something that's flying, it falls out of the sky.
Oh boy, fall damage.
Yeah, to explain how he fights the to explain he has killed dragons. It's to explain how he makes them fall in the sky and beats their heads in with a giant shield. So let's roll over to the Vatican Ark.
Meanwhile, we just chucking EO on their back and let her go to town.
I'm just going to sub. Wait a sec. Sub John and Astley off. Caitlin's not going to be here the entire session. If stuff goes well, Astley will arrive late. Let's see, might not be here the entire session. It's up in the air. So we left off with Jeremiah walking off after seeing you guys style on the fucking dragon.
Which, unbeknownst to him, is literally just our normal.
Yes, yes, it is. Still, the Massive Knight raises the gauntlet to his helmet, pulls up his visor, pinches his nose before looking back to all of you. He's like just in front of the car now. You all really are ridiculous. Makes sense.
What do you think we keep an Arc Dragon?
Like, exactly. It makes sense, but...
You didn't see the plan with the gas station.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the gas station.
What did you do to the poor gas station?
We blew it up on
Blew
top
up a
of
dragon with it.
That does
This
seem
was
like...
before we knew. This was before we had any proper spell casting, just a few cantrips.
He turned it around at that, looks Lucine dead in the eye. I think I'm starting to understand what Cardinal Maximus means when he talks about prodigies.
Oh yeah, I guess we never did mention. Yeah, all three of us are wild talents.
I repeat myself. Anyways,
Lucine says this was with an innocent look that she knows what she's doing.
Driving him up the wall?
More like everyone up the wall.
Anyways, are you going to be desecrating the remains, or are we going to be heading back to base to report it's dead?
Oh, we already got all the remains out.
You piranhas, Okay. I'm driving, he says as he walks to the current Wee Hall.
Fair enough.
Are you even gonna fit in the front in that suit?
You know what? I want to rename the European Wee Hall.
If you call it the Oi Hall, I will shoot you.
It was going to be the V Hall, as
Wait, give me a second.
But I think the Wee Hall is better.
Okay, I'm sorry. Heard one of my cats being sus. So he's also an Ark Dragon in church armor. And Jeremiah
Oh no,
is
it's
an
a
Ark
cat in the
Dragon.
vent.
No. It sounded like one of my cats was scratching at the door. I had to check.
The cat is sus.
They're cats, of course. They're sus.
Do.
Anyway, so yes, the car does fit Jeremiah in full plate. It's like this is a church car. This is a car to church. This car to church specifically happens wheeling themselves around and jumping people. Like
Yes.
Lucine. Like, okay, so who's sitting in the back?
This car is now the Wee Hall. The Wee Hall.
Lucine, I will throw you out a window.
This was Mom's idea.
I'll tie you to the cover, then throw you out a window.
Kinky.
No.
When will you learn that doesn't work?
Never. Too stubborn. Anyways. Yes, as you the drive back to the Vatican archives is 30 minutes or so, roughly. I'd say, yeah, 30 minutes sounds right. We just roll back to the big map. Actually, no, I can't roll back to the big map because there's spoilers on that I don't want Zal seeing yet.
Lol.
Because there's stuff I've shoved into the GM layers prep. So we'll just go straight back to the Vatican archives. Still, he quickly pulls you into the basic. You know, parking garages.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have basically an underground one welded to. I'll say, let me just slap down the entrance for that down onto the map.
Oh no, not the parking garage near the underground cathedral.
It's not near the cathedral.
It must be very full on Sundays.
It's on the bottom part of the map. It's the garage. Anyways.
Really, the garage is the thing of legends.
What is it? Upper archives. What are you eyeing, Zal? There's a lot of stuff to eye with this party. I need you to be more specific. Am I wrong?
No.
Anyways,
Funny part.
Anyway, let me just sub John it. Where's Ashley's token? Give me a second. There it is. I'm done. Into the map, please.
They never actually reacted to the devil.
Yes, because she wasn't here last.
It is rather amusing, but she is hidden in EO's shadow, technically.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, how we hand waved her not being here last season is she was hiding in Io's shadow.
Probably reading One Piece or something. I don't know.
That is the.
Honestly, Sylvan strikes me more as a JJK kind of girl, purely because of how fucking edgy it is.
She literally follows One Piece.
I mean, she might be more of a JJK kind of girl, but she definitely One Pieces.
Yes, she does.
Yeah. Anyways,
Imagine her wrath when she finds out the anime won't continue because everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead. Well, not
and
everyone.
that is how we know you don't know One Piece.
You fool, One Piece is eternal.
Anyways,
Oh, no.
I see your token, Theon. Thank you.
A man's dreams never die.
Okay. Hey, Sylvan.
Right.
Anyways,
Also, of course you used that. You know what you were doing with that particular quote.
Okay, so yeah, you pile back into the side room in the underground cathedral that seems to function as Cardinal Maximus's office. Sion, how do you Sylvan? How does Sion ICU make her appearance?
Most truly bullshit possible.
She jumps and backflips out of EO's shadow and lands in a perfect sitting motion on an invisible chair. She's actually floating, but she's pretending she has an invisible chair.
Kirov just baps her with a rolled up newspaper. No dramatics, please.
The implication that he carries a newspaper.
I mean, why wouldn't the old man of the group carry a newspaper? That's just literally... Oh, God, why are we even asking this question?
This is fair enough. So, okay, so
EO, of course, will take the newspaper from Kirov and bap Kirov in the head with it. No bapping.
Anyway, so Ghost is rerailing right now. So Cardinal Maximus is going to look to Sion and sigh very slowly. Ah, you have abound a demon then.
Heel will very smugly smirk.
Nope, Sion.
Little miss, I've abandoned my humanity, yo.
At that point, Sion will very cheerily say, "Bound by love, of course."
Cardinal Maximus's eye twitches, but he doesn't say anything.
Eel will be very smug at this.
She
was human at one point.
Hellbound or Earthborn?
Earthborn.
Okay, okay, I don't. Okay, I can work with that. Mr. Sophia did say her grandfather was a pragmatic man.
Nah, like
Problem is
I
that
do
he's
actually
got-
like Cardinal Maximus so far. Like he's a prick, but he's like a reasonable prick, and that's fun.
So he holds his hands together. Jeremiah, your report. Jeremiah basically then just recounts what happened. No, I see. I did not expect to run into the next generation of warrior saints, nor for them to all be apostates, but I can work with this. I can work with this.
Wait, Warrior Saints? What?
Basically, you're badass enough. He's assuming you're blessed by God. It's how he's rationalizing it.
I mean, technically, Eo is blessed by God if God is literally just the consciousness of the earth. But hey, he's not technically wrong. Also, it's funny because Kirov has never actually been confirmed to not be Christian. So, like,
I'm pretty sure Hero's religion is just gone.
The equally funny part is if
Yes.
the endgame goes the way I'm expecting it to, and I'm not saying any more because I don't feel like spoiling the audience.
yes.
Anyway,
We're gonna do the big funny.
but I can work with this. This is solid proof that you are capable enough at killing that thing. Let me double check something real quick.
Oh, I've got a silly idea.
Entire party. Make either a give me a second, let me find the right check I'm looking for. God damn, I keep forgetting it's not named what it's named in 3.5e. Make a spot check.
It's alphabetical.
Except not spot. Everyone make a spot check real quick for me, please.
Oh, I put some.
Oh
stupid-
boy.
Oh yeah, my spot is not now actually functional. I didn't say it was good.
Me and Sylvan just have cracked spot.
Well, yeah, because she cheated and got a monster stat block. Mind you, I'm not actually saying.
Wait, why are we rolling spot again?
I'll explain
We
once
don't
everyone's
have
rolled
That's
spot.
what we're rolling spot for.
Sure, I'll roll my the only spot that should be cracked.
How badly did you
Kirov
roll?
has-
Okay,
Kirov has every right for it to be cracked.
so yeah. Okay, so does everyone but Lucine.
None of us rolled above a 10.
Everyone but Lucine sees Jeremiah flinch slightly as Cardinal Maximus calls Dark Dragon that thing.
Ah, yes. Interesting.
Anyways, Cardinal Maximus waves a hand. You have been given permission to access the archive. To access the archives, if you need something from the upper level of the archives, if you need something from the lower level, simply ask me, and I will send someone to fetch it to you within reason, of course.
Lucine immediately just rattles off the list of things she's trying to look into because she knows most of them are probably lower level. But they are all within reason.
He nods. Yes, it will take a moment. While you
I mean, Eel already told him what she wanted last session, so
yeah. In addition, while you are here, you are free to use the guest quarters. I'm gonna slap down on the map over fuck it here.
some random ass fucking nowhere quarters, clearly.
To use the guest quarters while you're here. Tough. Tough. I do have to ask you a question. How easy would it be to open a direct line of communications with your higher ups?
Eel blinks,
It's
looks at
whistling
Lucine, shrugs. Probably a ritual.
No,
Or
it's
even just a decently strong radio.
Lucine instantly whistles and just pulls out the fucking radio.
Ah,
We still have satellites, so like, yeah, we can do it from anywhere.
oh, that. I see then. I was hoping to get a look at their faces.
Wasn't expecting it to be that easy.
I was hoping to get a look at their faces.
Oh, you want to do a video call? That's not that hard either.
The magic side old man looks at you and blinks.
She is very smugly not explaining, because she doesn't actually feel obliged to explain to technologically illiterate people how technology works anymore.
The answer is he should be technologically literate.
I mean, no, he absolutely should not be if he's the exact stereotype I'm thinking.
But he's probably smart enough to have someone who does on hand.
Correct. That would be the actual answer.
I'll go see. Jeremiah, go bug the mechanics. Yes, sir. Yes, Your Holiness. Jeremiah's gonna fucking walk out of that.
Jeremiah absolutely is relishing the ability to walk away from this man.
Yes. But yes.
And just from this general insanity.
Yes.
Yes.
Take the time you need. Once I discuss things with your higher ups, we will begin drafting plans and putting all that into motion. I am not sure about the details of the first one you slew, but this one is proved.
Oh,
What do you say?
you mean the telekinetic bitch who tried to throw buildings at us?
Yeah, don't you still have footage of that?
Yes.
Are you going to sell him
This
the
is,
footage?
this is a reminder that Eel records literally everything.
I know. Are you going to sell him the footage?
Only
Sure,
if it's
she will
edited.
hand him an SD,
Only if it's
an
edited.
SD card.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Yes.
make sure that's edited.
Jeremiah. Jeremiah.
Look, Eel definitely made compilation videos, like, of her videos. Like, let's be real here.
Jeremiah comes
Oh,
back.
more.
He's hearing
There
me.
is the Lucine minefield is in that video.
Yes, she has also censored the bits that they don't need the church seeing, dear.
So
She's
Jeremiah
not
comes back in.
stupid.
He's carrying in his arms a TV, some sort of what looks like some sort of Magitech doohickey plastered in crosses.
Sounds about right.
So plugs that into the radio. Notices the SD card. Plugs that into the doohickey, and it starts playing the footage.
So what kind of TV are you talking about? A flat screen or a CRT?
It's a flat screen TV, but it looks like a flat screen TV. If a flat screen TV was as thick as a brick.
So a CRT.
No, not like a CRT.
It's like a modern flat screen, but like it's been brick.
Yes. You're pretty sure you could throw this at someone and it would still work afterwards.
Yeah, what did they do? Upscale and Nokia?
No, it's literally just they idiot proofed it.
Yes, I'm just joking.
Which honestly might just be an upscale Nokia anyway.
So yeah, he watches the footage, looks to you. One question regarding this runt of the litter, if the size means anything. What infrastructure does it have?
A cult that we previously dismantled. And some dragons who we had the local resistance group handle.
And that one bitch that tried to resurrect him, but we put that one on ice.
Yes. Oh, and the crazy Christian Fundy guy who we also killed.
Yeah, that was the cult leader.
Yeah, crazy Christian Fundy guy. And she is very specifically bringing up Christian Fundy because she is poking fun at the church.
Maximus's eye just twitches again.
Does Neo care? No, she doesn't actually care what the
Christians.
Huh?
The Catholics don't like the Christians.
Yes.
His eye still twitches.
That's why she's doing it.
His eye still twitches. Anyways, let the coast talk, please. So his eye twitches again, but it's the override that's twitching this time instead of the previous one. So the one that twitched when you were annoying him. I see. The one here has created more problematic infrastructure. Do have your time to research, just don't take more than a week, please.
No argument there. We are trying to do some things before the upcoming solar eclipse.
He nods at that. So, once the researcher's done, I'll add 5 to the day counter. So, give me a sec to grab the handouts because this is gonna be a big fucking thing. Give me a sec. You wanna know how many fucking handouts I made for this? 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 handouts. Beautiful.
They're each titled "Info Dump" the topic.
Give me that sweet lore, Daddy.
So I have a pre-planned order, and that's gonna be the order we're doing them in. Sylvan, we're gonna be
Understandable.
This is for dramatic effect. Sylvan, we're doing your research first. So,
Yes,
Larry,
we'll have to step away from reading One Piece.
the archives are down there. So yes, the upper archives are basically the upper archives look like a library, an old library, where every room is another smaller library. That's the best way I have to describe it.
Library reception.
Yes, library
It's
reception.
all just library.
Library reception with lit by gold candles of golden flames, carefully put in the glass, of course, to keep them from burning anything. Smell of dry paper fills the air as all of you do your research. Jeremiah is typically the guy being stuck to guard duty. You all is big watch on guard duty in case something happens, i.e., in case one of the books tries to do something fucky. So, first, Sylvan. Sylvan, is Sion going to be like curled up in like a corner light? How is he? What is Sion doing as he does the research? Basically, what kind of environment does he research on?
He's doing a sync.
That's fine. I just wanted to ask. Sylvan's research is also. I will be blunt.
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
What Sylvan? What is Sion doing for the research? Not just topics. Like what kind of atmosphere does Sion research in, and how is he getting that atmosphere here?
I'd say a sort of not subdued, but I suppose a moderated excitement from book to book as she's moving around. You can tell she's excited, but she's also actively tamping down on that. Keep herself both efficient in doing that and not to aggravate their hosts.
Mm-hmm. A couple of the assistant librarians that are scuttling around seem to be giving you a bit of a wide berth, but they're not willing to help. So, you page through a lot of old, dusty books and do get a little frustrated with your topics. Well, first, the Mesopotamian Pantheon, because that was the first topic you were interested in, right? Them being, if they were still around?
Yes.
Okay. So the Mesopotamian Pantheon is believed by the church to still be alive, by dint of the fact that the various sites they curse to do horrible things to the church's force is still working up to a year before the stars even a year before the star's emergence. However, they have no idea where the hell they are, if they're on Earth or in some other realm, and they have been very quiet for the past centuries as well.
Okay, that's interesting. I'll have to look into that further elsewhere. Okay, so with that settled, and with that clear lack of further evidence to be found in the church, at least in this area that I'm going to have access to, Sion would go towards researching how magic was sealed and by whom.
The seal on magic. So, as for the seal on magic, well, most of the workable data is in the deepest levels of the archives, beyond even where you're allowed to go or get stuff brought up from. But from the scraps you gather, they tell an interesting story. The occultist apocrypha, as the church calls it, appears to have been a combination created not just by the church's grittiest, appears to have been a combination combination work and group effort by not just the church's great miracle workers, but the members of several of the pantheons they allied with during the Dragon War, as well as literally fucking Merlin. Merlin.
Alive that late?
Wait, what did you say, Lucine? I missed that.
He was alive that late?
The next line will explain why. Who they title as the rebellious Antichrist. Most notably among, however, the gods who helped work on the seal include Hecate. Hecate from the Greek pantheon. I do not know how to pronounce his name, I am honest, I'm sorry. Probably make
I usually go with Hecate.
Hecate, thank you.
I assume it was also like Thoth from Egypt.
Yes, Thoth from Egypt was another major worker. Basically, every smart god you can think of played a hand in it.
Predisposed to bullshit.
Yes, basically. Loki didn't work on it when you look for... when you look for the Norses, how the Norse helped out, the seal, it looks like what work was done on that front was done by Odin.
This is not surprising.
The purpose of the seal,
Odin,
however,
the one guy who killed yourself for power actually worked.
However, the purpose of this, however, it's where when you get into what the seal does and why that things get interesting. The purpose of the seal itself seems to not be so much to suppress magic, but something the church's records refer to as the pulse from below, with the seal on magic being a necessary sacrifice to contain it.
Oh.
We can all put two and two together.
So
Did we tell them about the whole thing about... Yeah, no, we told them the whole Heya impact thing.
So, second blood... Oh, what were you saying, Stan? Sorry, I almost got you off there.
Oh, I said I certainly hope you all told them. It would be a rather big oversight if you didn't.
And I was trying to remember, and we did.
Yeah, you did tell them. If I remember correctly, what a heck Cardinal Maximus' response was, is he just basically struck his shoulders and says, "I don't believe that's where mankind came from."
Oh, right,
Well,
yeah.
you can always look at it this way. Maybe that's where the dust that God picked up to make mankind came from.
To get back in the top. The next part of the research is Io's research into her bloodline. If Cayman was here, I'd be grouping his research into his bloodline as part of this as well.
Woo.
Mia, what kind of atmosphere does Io have as he's working? Researching what kind of atmosphere does he have in favor?
What was that? Sorry.
For her research, what kind of atmosphere does Io generally carry with herself as she's doing it?
Like research in library?
Yeah, like in the library.
Completely hyperfixated. Literally going without sleep.
Yes. Some of the assistant librarians give you...
Kira half the brainer of the Navy sludge.
Give Io worried side eyes from time to time, but none of them step in her way or try to stop her. So,
she is absolutely carrying like a mug of tea around at all times, and it is always full somehow. No one questions this.
So you dig in the dusty books, many of which are older than the United States, or in the modern form of many, many, many countries. Heavy, thick, word of the heaven and hell back books on the children of those the church deemed as false gods. That came out right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. It takes a while. None of the gods you're looking at feel right. Not until one of the oldest books, centered around the Mesopotamian pantheon, in fact.
Oh no.
Of course.
Their god of the sun, Udu, also known as Samas, if it's not, was a vicious enemy of the church, along with the rest of his pantheon, due to the church's general intolerance, along with other things. Something about the name makes your blood Twitch. But even back then, they had no idea where he lived. Never mind the modern days. Still, it might be a lead. It might be a lead for both where to look, what to look for, and how to develop your own magic.
Interesting.
We'll handle the second research thing, which originally Cayman was going to do, and we got stuff to you. We'll handle that last. Okay.
Okay.
Now it's time for Lucine's two things, which actually have two separate docs because of how fucking big they were. Okay, so Lucine's first, your research for the first. What atmosphere does Lucine have as sea researches?
So she has somehow a couch and a whiteboard into the library.
Probably with the help of
And basically,
probably with the help of the assistant librarians.
yes.
Or
But she
just
doesn't have
Kirov.
them. No, it's mostly she would have guidance from the librarians and help from Kirov. Yeah, the way she does this is very much if she's reading, she's in some bizarre position on the couch, and if she's thinking, she's scribbling wildly on the whiteboard, in habits she very much learned from her tutor.
Yeah. The assistant librarians give you a bit of confusion, but they're generally just very helpful people.
And
You're more focused on your research than getting into their faces and names, however. And what your research points out is interesting. The church may sow disdain to other gods, see the rightful place of other magical beings as below humanity, but they are scared of the Fae.
Oh, I'm doing that one first? Okay.
Yes. Drama. Also easier to get.
Okay.
Also, the books are easier to get. Rhythm is
Fair
mysteries who hide in the cracks of the world, watching the course of history with scorn as cold and soft as snow. Their magic to the church is impossible. Impossible in what it can do. Impossible in the fact that it somehow appears to be holier than the power of the Lord. The alliance with the Fae and the Dawn of the Dragon War was secured at a price that makes your blood boil. Gifting a child of the British royal family into their hands, as that was their demand.
Oh boy.
It seems kind of decent.
Not a bad
Yes,
deal,
yes, shit on the Brits.
but it's more, let me put it this way. What the fuck power did the British royal family have that the Fae wanted it?
The Fae rode
It's
to
called
I don't know,
war.
Blood
maybe
of
they're just
Charlemagne.
immortal.
The Fae rode to war, and above all else saved the heroes who struck down Dreadnought Hogg at the war's darkest hour. None were more feared by the serpents. Yet, at the turning point of the war, they retreated into their realms and domains as the dread pulse from below grew louder. And the underwater shrine of promised victory, a sight long believed to be holy to the Fae by the church, was desecrated. The lake it was hidden within boiling away. Rumors now written to paper older than you whisper that in that moment, the Fae's silver light that slashed through draconic scale, flesh and bone as were dust before the wind, all flickered out.
Interesting. So, a coast. Just could you put that into a note so I can refer back to it?
I'll do you one better.
Oh, you already have the note prepped.
I wrote the handouts. It's now in your journal. You can now stare at it.
Thank you.
I'll give you a moment to think and react about that before we pull up the next one, because this is where things get interesting.
But yeah,
Oh.
it sounds like I need to look into that shrine of theirs. And Excalibur, because let's be fucking real, you stole from Fate.
Of course I did. You almost made me spit out my drink there, Sylvan.
I don't know the motive, but it is definitely concerning. We know some of this, but the fact that it was a shrine somehow, like, we understand that the antithesis of draconic magic is sacrifice, but why did a shrine give them all that power?
What do you mean? What do you mean, Zal? What do you mean, Zal? Smiles. Anyway, so you ready to move on to the next? You ready to move on to the next bit?
I am good. Yep, I'm good with that.
The books on the Stygian Call take longer for you to get. They are thick,
I don't
heavy
blame them.
things.
I have to double check.
Yeah, they are thick, heavy. Wait, double check you being ready.
Yeah, I said I'm ready.
Okay, sorry. They are thick, heavy things, bound in many of which are bound in chains. Chains that warm to the touch when you touch them. The Stygian Call, according to these books, first came to the attention of the church after the failed Perdition Breaker Crusade, where almost half the crusaders involved defected to the call.
Which crusade was this?
Perdition Breaker is what the book calls it.
Chin breakers?
Perdition Breaker.
Perdition. Thank you. So I just could not hear properly. Yep, no, I got it.
Cults were a known phenomenon, primarily in the worship of Nidhogg and known to the church as the devourer of false gods, or one of the Eastern dragons took approach more like farming to crave their desire for human flesh. Stygian Call was different. Unlike other dragon cults, the Stygian cult worshipped not a dragon, or not even a false god known to the church, but a nameless false god, I'm saying that in air quotes, but deep within the earth, and was the progenitor of all life upon the world, both draconic or not, according to them. And the Crusade found it, and reports of its power, of how the vast cavern nestled near the heart of the world was the most magically rich place in the land, perhaps all of the world, pulsing like a heartbeat that could be felt in all magic if one knew where to look, beating the loudest around its spawn. And the fact that the cult was seeking to awaken this monster that could destroy the world. The church swallowed pride, contacted the gods it deemed false enough for this knowledge, contacted the magical beings it feared, even the Fae who watched in the cracks in the world. The magic of the world united for one purpose. And so, the Dragon War began. Information on the sacred bloodlines is thinner.
I wasn't expecting much. I needed to look.
Whispers and fragments of information. Perhaps how the game isn't said. Perhaps torture. Perhaps you don't know how. Yeah, Zal's freaking out the chat. It's funny. 7 bloodlines, burden built to one day not release their god, but inherit its power, and with it, the world. In order to deny the call's dogma, prevent the panic, and impede their progress, they banned the field of Dracology and tasked the Inquisitors with hunting down the bloodlines and burning them from the face of the earth.
Well, they fucked that up.
I'm also putting this one in your journal. Give me a sec, Harry.
You know,
Coach had fun
Lucine
reading
is
these.
now deeply concerned.
Lucine is just doing that concern meme.
Like, the problem is, she was fully expecting that whatever bullshit she was one of them. But there's only 7.
Smiles.
Either one of the Ark Dragons was not of the sacred bloodlines, or even weirder shit is going on.
I have fun things on that front. So, what does Lucine do with this information?
She shares it openly and earnestly, and is trying to determine, did Conquest have one of these men? Liaisons.
After a couple
And very
moments,
much, and is checking primarily with Goldman's people.
as you radio with Goldman people, so you relay the information back to base. I'm going to assume you're using the radio. Goldman's voice hums over the radio as he takes a moment to think. No, Conquest did not have one of these. There were no humans with it when it came from the west. But it descended upon Father Vale's cult and took control of them.
Did one show up later? Because I don't necessarily think they would have all found it immediately.
No. One never showed up. And we showed up, and the call is doubtlessly aware of my existence if the theory that they are the unknown group my father was funding is correct. If Conquest was one of their projects, combined with that, they would have made themselves known in the area, would they have not?
The good news is, I think this is the better outcome of the results.
Explain.
Lucine gives him a look I am not explaining this in the middle of the Vatican variety.
He nods at that. I see. For when you get back then. I will go relay this information with the others, Michigan, Sophie, and what was the elf woman's name? I forgot what I named her. Give me a second.
Jane.
Jane, thank you. And Mayor Jane
Yes.
Mayor
Make
Jane
sure
are currently
Alexander
discussing the
will look at
information
it.
the Vatican has given them regarding the Ark Dragon in the area.
Make sure Alexander gets a look at it in particular. He's gotten samples of a few of the dragon factors now.
Yes,
They help determine
yes,
which is
they're
which.
showing him that information as well. Don't worry about it. They're keeping him in the loop, even if it does upset his and Sophia's grandfather.
Well, no, but yeah. If he finds out anything about if he can tell which blood samples have the sacred bloodlines, tell him to let me know. Again, this is very much Lucine is saying certain things and without actually saying them. You will then relay everything to the party now that he has asked. Basically, what she's unofficially saying is, tell me if my blood flags as one of them.
You get a will do from Alexander.
Like, that's what she's unofficially saying. Like, she's not saying it out loud because she's not dumb.
No. The will unofficially the will do says that it says I will look for signs of the sake of the Stygian calls
Yeah.
work of gene engineering and such and that in the Ark Dragon's dragon factor. That's what he was saying.
Yep. Like,
No.
and it is also worth doing it in the three we have. We have 3 samples or 4 samples.
Okay, so you have some. You gave Conquest his heart to Alexander, if I remember correctly. Have you used that yet?
Yeah, we used it as a bargaining piece, remember?
Yeah.
For seed transform.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he has all the data on that. You've just gathered a little bit, a couple data from Scarlet Queen, and using the records from the Overwatch satellite, Alexander was able to artificially mimic the signature, the dragon factor signature of the Ark Dragon and Rasa, which I remember because he said the blood in the bio tried to stab him.
Could also have gotten garbage dragon signatures because it's very easy to take ocean samples.
Yes, but it's very basically the problem is more the garbage dragon is in the, but you have a continent in the way of the water sources you easily have easy access to.
I mean, we probably in that case we. Well, wait, no, it wasn't coastal. Never mind.
Anyway, so basically, he has two soul samples. One the theoretical sample that he needs you guys to confirm. Okay.
Yep.
So what is the rest of the party's response to this information?
So was that why the queen was basically immortal?
Huh?
You hear the sound of a metal fist face palming against the helmet as Jeremiah from the corner of the room where Jeremiah is standing.
You have no proof that the Scarlet Queen is remotely immortal.
No, not that one. The Queen of England.
Oh. It is possible. It would explain why the Fae wanted a child of Britain. But, and Lucina looks at Jeremiah, it is also very high profile. I have no doubt you would have known if they were one of them.
We would. Cardinal Maximus would a lot of things are need to know. Well, he stops for a second. Were need to know.
Yes. And I assume that we will be able to confirm with Cardinal Maximus that yes, they are not in fact one of the bloodlines.
Yeah, the Cardinal. Yeah, the English royal family is not one of the Stygian call bloodlines. It looks like, thankfully. Yeah, he just looks like you're an idiot when you ask that.
And I meant more because look what Zhao was going on about.
Yeah. Oh, changelings. Yeah. He confirms they're not changelings either. They didn't give.
Lucina is basically just saying, asking for the sake of data isolation and humoring Kurov's nonsense.
Cardinal Maximus rubs his nose from. I'm going to assume you're asking in his office. No, they didn't give the crown. They didn't give the crown prince for that deal. They gave the second in line.
Oh, of course. Whatever it is would be something that matters. Would be whatever they wanted had to have been something in the bloodline that Faye wanted, not something to do afterward.
Anyways, there's one last research topic. This is where things get a little thorny. Originally, the plan of staff came into this was going to be originally came in, but he's not here, and this is too plot important to skip. Or basically, Io's doing it instead because I also it's for doing it.
Huh?
The cure, the cure stuff. Remember?
Right. Sorry, I'm honestly half zoned out. I apologize.
It's fine. It's been a day.
It's mostly the sick.
Also that. Drink a lot of water. You deserve it.
Every day is a day.
So, how does Io's demeanor when she's looking for it into into basically magical medicine in general? How is it any different?
Still really obsessive compulsive drinking way too much tea.
As you page through the books, give me. I forgot to actually write up for this, so I need to remember from sheer memory. Give me a second.
Press F for the coast.
From the there's a lot of the books you get are actually pretty new. Are actually new. It looks like magical research was something that magical illnesses were something that curses. That's something the church was interested in keeping melding modern medicine with. Actually,
Okay, good basic competence.
so generally, it looks like this: magical illnesses and curses, those that affect the body, that primarily affect the body, such as, for example, lycanthropy, need to have both. If they're just a normal disease disease, often they will need to have both the disease itself purged from the body, and then magic used to remove the magical after effects. Doing just one will not be enough to cure the affliction. Curses need dedicated magic to slowly rip and burn out the anchor they have in the body, otherwise they just will come back, and they'll probably come back worse than before. Magical illness of the mind, psychic stuff, it's all such the same. Generally, if it affects the body, you have to burn out every component, but with magic and medicine, but once it's done, the person is fine. Your stomach can't help but drop as you move on to the things that can't be cured that fashion. Things that touch upon the soul, such as vampirism.
Welcome to the basics of why Lucine was operating the way she was. I didn't know this, it just seemed like the safe bet.
Vampirism. For those the cure is always listed as the same sentence. The same 4 words. Death. Then a miracle.
What does the church
Oh.
define as miracles? Like,
Basically an act of God.
When you look into this context, paging through the books, it's what they mean is kill them, then bring them back to life. And that is typically enough.
wait, why would that work on a soul? Because the soul stays the same.
Shatters the connection whole. Basically, consider it like this: it shatters the soul passing on breaks the connection between the soul and the thingamajiggy.
Okay, so it's something that affects the soul from outside.
Yes.
But that would mean that if it affects the soul from the inside, issue.
Closing the books are heavy and make a heavy thud when you close. Lucy, Io, what are your thoughts on that?
Eel does not currently have thoughts. She is too busy considering implications. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Can you repeat some of the cure stuff again, please?
Okay, so I'll post the TLDR in the Emergency chat.
Thank you.
Basically, the TLDR is stuff that affects the body can usually just be done by purging the magic and disease. The shit that affects the soul usually requires them to die and come back.
Makes sense.
And that's only things that affect the soul from the outside. If something were to affect the soul from the inside,
there is no information on that sort of thing.
it is. The bigger problem is questioning how the transformation actually works.
Yeah, the only way I can really think of that is still at least personality death.
I have plans.
I mean, dragonification is literally personality death.
Yep.
Yes, I mean, even if you purge that, you're not getting the same person back.
I have plans for how that all would work out. So as you close the hey, I'm just going to imagine the rest of the party is in the room. Is probably in the room at this point, considering how important this is.
Yep.
Who is?
The rest of the party.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As you close the book and consider that information, Mason, Jeremiah, you can hear the clink of Jeremiah's armor as he looks towards you, Io. I take it you're not fond of what you found.
She closes the book with, like a soft pomp, like respectful of the book, but like clearly not exactly that respectful.
Also, it's a very
Puts
heavy
it back
book.
on the shelf,
Very heavy book.
and she does not care. Girly has enough strength from
Understandable. Have
swinging
a nice
around
day.
her sword. Anyway, Girly basically says the information in the book was unsatisfying to the Supreme, and it is quite clear that they haven't done research on this in quite some time. Honestly, I'm not really sure I should be surprised that the magical side of society stagnated, but it is what it is. Then she, kind of slams her left fist against her palm and says, I'll have to do my own research and testing because this is useless.
Judging by the, I saw some. He stops and starts a couple of times, trying to really struggling with his phrasing.
I mean, it's very clear to me that you are related to the Arc Dragon in some way, so like you don't have to try and hide that. This is her taking like a guess out of the dark and watching his reaction to confirm.
He freezes like a deer caught in the headlights.
Yeah, I figured. I wasn't sure until you just froze just now, but yeah, no, I'm sure.
Cardinal won't be happy you figured it out, but
The Cardinal can go suck my non-existent dick.
he snorts that lightly.
Pretty sure there's a spell for that.
Yes.
Oh, wait, this does bring in up. Wait, right, you fucking rewrote your body. It's definitely gone by now.
Yes.
You're
She was trans. She has literally used vanilla seed transform on herself. Yeah, she
Oh,
absolutely
no,
has
more
it.
like the ritual that. No,
Yes,
not even
you-
that.
you
we
get
would've
what I
sacrificed
mean.
the first ritual would have done it anyway. So Jeremiah clunks his shield against the ground, sighing very, very slowly. It's just, oh well. The serpent was my brother. The two of us, we worked together as knights of the church.
From what I understand, then, he must have held some level of dissatisfaction with how the church did things. I have figured out some of the qualifications required to become a dragon, just by inference, more than anything.
He hums
But-
slowly. He didn't talk much about that. Not with me. On that accursed day, a rain of the black crystals struck the Vatican.
Yes, the star is a hostile actor. It targeted all potential sites of resistance.
No, he shakes his head. More specifically, an entire barrage was aimed at his holiness.
Completely failed to get that across because it cut up.
Fucking internet.
It be like that sometimes. You're clear now.
Okay. An entire barrage of the crystals was aimed at his holiness. Not Cardinal Maximus.
The Pope, yes.
My brother took the blow. I was there as he turned, and Jeremiah starts to laugh nervously.
You're okay, Kos. There's no need to get so upset.
I am
If
angry
you
that my
need to
internet
just
is
type it out.
I'm angry that my internet is constantly ass fucking my attempts to do my stuff.
You're fine.
Give me a sec.
Io will note down in her head that Jeremiah's brother doesn't seem to quite fit the bill of becoming an arc dragon as she understands it. And will also quietly jot down in her head that the Pope was saved, but then likely died to a dragon brother immediately afterwards.
Yeah, give me a sec. Give me a sec to try to fight. I'm fighting roll 20 because roll 20 is not letting me write. Give me a second.
You're
Why are
fine.
you in caps lock? There we go.
Specifically, selflessness is the direct opposite of dragon, so
So
That is rather interesting.
All I'm going to do is smile. Jeremiah starts to laugh nervously. I was there. And as he changed,
you weren't able to kill your brother right when he transformed, and that led to the Popes.
I wasn't able to bring myself to kill him. And now all of Europe is gone because of my mistake.
If
It
not
wasn't
your brother, there would have been another. It is not your fault to bear.
But
Eel will also shake her head and smile. If it was my siblings, I would not have been able to do it either. I would have obsessively searched for a method to tear them out of that.
I do have to ask: Is there a certainty he was not one of those damnable bloodlines?
If he was, I would have been too. We're twins.
Or you ever tested it? It needs to be isolated.
Yes. Yes. As soon as that damnable as soon as he left the Vatican and was dragged under the archives, Cardinal Maximus had my blood tested.
Good on him.
Jeremiah just slumps against the wall, clearly tired.
Lucine is visibly rubbing her head. This doesn't add up.
I told you, Lucine, that blood likely was not the only answer.
No, it wasn't the only answer, but the problem is, it doesn't make sense.
What if it's not tied to blood, but like the soul, reincarnation and shit?
That would also track.
Well, no, that would not track because they explicitly have said they attempted and made some amount of damage in
No. You are not taking into account that there are multiple afterlives and probably multiple afterlife systems.
Well, no, to clarify, I was saying they were able to hunt down and track the bloodlines, which would mean it's in the body, right?
That was likely what the dragons wanted us to think.
Jeremiah shakes his head. I simply don't know if it was some malady upon the soul, I believe it would have been caught during our training as knights.
It's not a malady, Eel mutters.
Perhaps.
She is very specifically stating that it was probably not detectable by them.
We just don't have enough. We just don't have enough information. It looks like.
Meanwhile, Lucine is not saying it, but she's the walking proof that it will show up in blood.
Yes, but you are not every dragon, dear.
Right, we don't know what Lucine's deal is.
Lucine's deal is very obviously unique. And also likely separate from the dragons as a whole.
Jeremiah stops and starts again for a couple seconds.
We are not saying any of the Lucine stuff in character.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, obviously.
If you can...
I will try when we fight him.
Thank you.
I will promise you that much.
I have one more question. Do you know what happened to the crown serpent you killed after they passed?
Their souls are eaten by the star.
Souls are... Oh. Lucine just put together that The soul was taken in order to, but that would also be a goal to prevent resurrection. A goal to do so.
Eel will clarify that it's very unlikely they'll be able to save him after they kill him. So she would have to attempt a ritual after disabling the Archdragon.
And Lucine, as the ritualist, will pipe up. I don't think it's possible to disable that guy for the absolute shortest a ritual of that sort could be made would be an hour and a half.
Eel will shrug. The battle itself will be the ritual. I'll figure something out.
Jeremiah shivers in his armor. You can hear it rustling, clang. Thank you. That gives me time to brace myself. He stops for a second, looking towards the archive, to the pile of books that the party's been doing research on. More specifically, as you follow his eyes, you notice he's looking at one of the books that Lucine was researching. One of the books on the column, more specifically, one of the symbols on it. Well, it's basically just a symbol marking it as forbidden knowledge. You don't look at if you don't have permission.
Mm-hmm.
If that damnable false god is going to try this, that would be heresy. But Jeremiah shakes his head. It doesn't matter.
Oh, could you repeat that? We couldn't quite hear it. It was just quiet.
No, that wasn't an internet thing. It was a quiet, not a robot.
Jeremiah looks at the book. I wonder if that damnable false god is going to try to devour his soul. No, that would be heresy of the highest order.
Destroy his soul, you mean? Eel mutters.
Devour, destroy, same thing.
Eel shakes her head. If the soul is destroyed, it cannot be recovered. Well, at least conventional wisdom says such. If it is devoured, it likely remains trapped within the star, and thereby is recoverable.
Jeremiah hums at that. Yes, yes.
A pedantic difference, but it makes all the difference anyway.
It very well might, yes, but I'm thinking of something else, and no, that would be a fool's errand to attempt, I think.
What is it? There was no information is never bad.
I mean, half the shit we
Eel
do is a
also will
fool's
shake her
errand,
head
and it
to
works
Lucine. There
anyways.
is absolutely information that should be buried in the depths of hell.
Okay, fine, yes, but more.
Never to see light
What
again.
would you think? I don't think this information.
It is a form of necromantic magic. Are you aware of what a lich is?
Anchor his soul to this plane so it cannot take him?
Yes, it's...
Theoretically, that could prevent the star from taking him, but remember, the star is a god. It likely can bypass such magics.
Yes, and the bigger problem...
And there's always the really awkward potential for a lich dragon.
The bigger problem is very simple, he says after a moment. That sort of binding the soul, nailing the soul to the world like that, it damages it if maintained for more than a day.
I see. Very specifically, I will note for the sake of the audience, Eel's ritual niche is esoteric rituals, whereas Erie's ritual niche is traditional incantations.
And transhumanism stuff.
Yes. No, that's actually Sion's niche, is transhumanism.
I mean, that one's kind of shared.
It's kind of shared for three of you fuckers, let's be real.
Yeah, the thing is, Eo's is kind of brute force and esoterica, but Lucine is starting to go more towards
Lucine works within the system. Eo works in homebrew, essentially, of traditional ritual magics. Whereas Lucine works with the one codified by the system.
Yes, anyway, so let me just finish talking, please. But yes, it damages the soul after even a day of doing it, and while While if undone quick enough, most of the damage could in theory be healed. He shakes his head. Still a very dangerous, vile thing.
What kind of damage?
Loss of empathy? Monomania? Sociopathy?
Sociopathy is the loss of empathy. This is EO being very, very gently pediatric because sociopaths can recover. It's psychopaths that can't.
Yes, he did say something that some of the damage could in theory be healed if you catch it if you unnail it fast enough. It's
EO is considering attempting to use the battle itself as overcoming the star symbolically by overcoming the dragon and use that ritual as a catalyst to return it to humanity. But she's not quite sure she can figure it out in time. Again, this is me attempting it in character with the full expectation out of character that it will not work.
You just want to figure out the ins and outs of the Star Reach, don't you?
Out of character, yes. In character, EO is actually going to seriously attempt to save this person.
That said, I think how would she be able to cast in the middle of a fight?
Okay. Well, what I'm talking about, dear, is like ritual magic in the actual ritual sense, not in system sense.
Oh, you mean like a ritual war dance?
The battle itself is the ritual.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah. Because it does feel like it's... Yeah, like, I don't expect it to work for a couple reasons, but it does feel like it's just weird if EO can just do all the things and also a ritual at the same time. That just kind of feels like overpowering niche.
Yeah, I will say...
she absolutely will be taking hits to stats if Ghost lets me do it.
The more pressing what I'd say is you'd have to set up the ritual. No, basically what it is, you'd have to set up the stuff to turn it into a ritual fight as the giant kaiju-sized dragon is trying to kill you.
Which she would totally still be willing to do.
Yes. But it would basically add another stage to fighting the giant kaiju-sized dragon.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're just talking mechanically, we do have a few people who will succeed almost always or literally always on the standard DC for a single seed.
Hey, was this year a leap year?
Possible. I don't know.
Yes.
So there was a 29th, but 29th of February.
Yes.
Okay, so that means
this year is a leap year.
Okay, so that means 5 years later is free. 5 days later is a free 124, not Okay, thank you. Not free 2 thing. I need to check that.
Oh, if there was a leap day, a 29th, then EO would have probably done a minor ritual on it. More than likely.
What would it be?
Probably, not necessarily communing with the earth or anything like special, but just strengthening your connection to it. It's not in a mechanical benefit way, because like literally
basically you just get the kill more Arc Dragons thing. That's all you get.
Yeah, like I figured that would be the case, but this is more EO ritualistically maintaining her connection for like symbolic sake, not actual benefit, like I said.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, what time is it? Give me a second. I'm just getting a gauge for how quick.
Kill more Arc Dragons, Earth Mommy says, and EO says, okay, I'll get right on that here.
Once you're done, yeah, I'm going to assume that's before you dive into the gear research, just so I can have the scene be the last thing in the timeline. So,
yeah, makes sense.
So once you're done that heavy conversation with Jeremiah, he has a pager, like just awkwardly stuck onto the breastplate of his armor. You hear it buzz and Cardinal Maximus's voice come out. Please report to my office office so we can begin the plan this offensive, please?
Understood?
Let me just grab the Ascalon Commander's token because they're going to be showing up via fancy magic tech bosses. So I bullshit. Give me a second. Okay, so blah blah blah. I need to make sure I need to make sure. Wait, I know I'm gonna grab them off the start screen so I don't accidentally grab the chair.
So just so you know, Sylva basically has a plan to baleful polymorph the dragon.
I'm just okay. I know. I can read. I'm just going to say I smile at that. I remember. I have confirmed. I have I have I. I can't remember if I've confirmed what I'm about to say out of character, so I'm not going to say it. Anyways, but see it just via the TV and Magitech bill, so you can see that four leaders of Ascalon in the just in the office. More importantly, you can see more importantly, Goldman has somehow fucking rigged it up so you can see the fucking fancy XCOM style map that I used. Map. So, the Cardinal Maximus hums. I have. While modern technology surprised me, it is useful in areas where magic may fall short or have issues. Mr. Goldman, you called yourself. Can you please bring the whatever it's called over to Europe so I may explain the situation, please? Mr. Goldman nods on screen, doesn't say anything. He's too busy. He's basically arm deep in the console, moving stuff around. So you get the map of Europe. You immediately get the signal for Mr. Mountain but as you look, actually, that's not the thing that draws your attention. Instead, there are 8 smaller signals. Each of your signals, each pulsing, seemingly pulsing on the graph. We're off all at the same time. What?
Which of these signals are which? Because
You know where
there
Mr.
are...
Mountain is. You know what Mr. Mountain's signal is because it's very distinctive. Also, the satellite can see the giant fucking Kaiju dragon.
Oh, I was looking far to the north.
No.
Pile of zeros.
Where's the pile of zeros? I don't see the pile of zeros.
It's in Sweden.
I don't see it.
Yeah, no.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, it sounds. I don't. It's not supposed to exist. That might be something glitching on your end. It's not supposed to exist. I don't see that. So, no.
Whatever.
What it is the signals at at Barn, Paris, Berlin, Vienna, Sofia, Kiev, and Minsk, however you pronounce that.
Oh, not Sarajevo.
They're all capital cities.
Oh no, it's sorry. So it's Sarajevo, but also the joke of, and that's where the sandwich was.
It flew right above my head. That might work. Oh, that might work. Smiles. It might not. Anyway, so Mr. Goldman hums along with the rest of the squad. Our leader hums. I don't know what those signals are. I assume you do, Cardinal Maximus. Cardinal nods and yes, those are from. We've gathered some data on the one in Switzerland thanks to our seers in a very perilous journey by Jeremiah. We are tentatively calling them the Dark Lakes. A second, make them visible. Not touching Chernobyl, don't worry. Don't. So, Ghost is gonna. The Dark Lakes, Colonel Maximus rubs his beard and sighs. These are the reasons I asked about if conquest, you called it, had infrastructure. These are the apostles. Massive lakes, they are, from what we can tell, massive lakes, lakes of the Ark Dragon's tears, filling in the craters it leaves when it levels a capital. They pose one of the two problems besides the beast's size that make attacking it a problem. I'll show you.
How so?
At the absolute least, they are constantly. I have to fucking undo something. I'll do that once we're done. At the absolute least, bubbling from their banks constantly is a the constant supply of the lesser beasts, the draconids as you call them, with the occasional dragon bursting from the depths.
Oh, well, that is troublesome.
More problematically, Jeremiah has told me you know roughly the backstory of the dragon.
Yes.
Yes.
His brother was a skilled healer. We believe to the point that it was often praised that if he lived in an era where magic was not sealed, he would have been strong. He would have been strong enough to revive the dead.
Interesting.
Our
Oh, I see where this is going already.
seers believe it is likely that these dark lakes act as a way for the monster servants to return to the world of the living. Jeremiah is going to pipe up at this, leaning in. To be specific, I have fought the same dragon, not as in same general type, but the exact same individual dragon multiple times, even after confirming the kill, even after making sure there was nothing left of the body.
And the bastards are smart enough to learn and adapt.
Yes, but Maximus nods. The bigger issue is very simple. The Dark Lakes are big enough to fit the Ark Dragon.
They're his backup plans then.
We assume so. If they are, then all 8 must be destroyed before we take him on.
Hold
Not
on.
quite.
Hold on.
We
Yeah,
only need to
I
kill
think
we
we only need to
kill
take out
5,
7.
because
Because if
3,
we can control where he comes back, we can have a ritual waiting.
that would work, but on the other hand, if we take out the 5 that are not near the border with Russia, it is likely that the weaponry dragon will notice and attack them.
Eel nods.
We have not seen much of the Russian Ark Dragon, to be honest, but the cardinal leans into his hand, mulling something over how to phrase something. During the early days as the trader was making his rounds throughout Europe, there were reports from our forces searching for survivors of what appeared to be Russian aircraft dancing through the air and engaging in combat with the dragons.
That would check out. We have done some research into the others, and according to what our dracologist was able to figure out, We believe the domain of the Russian dragon is weapons.
Oh, weapon.
Yeah, that's a hell of a.
More pressingly, he says after a
Critically,
second.
they are enemies. And if we can weaken things enough that
I
that dragon thinks
let me finish talking first. However, he's going to cut in. This is only one of the two problems. The other is very, very simple. He points to the image of to the very grainy live feed of Mr. Mountain from the satellite.
Mm-hmm.
You can see a lot of black specks in the air around it. The Ark Dragon has assembled a massive horde that follows it like scavengers following a predator. Any attempt at a head-on assault is not just going to be fighting him, but an army of dragons head-on.
the only solution to that is explosives well above my pay grade.
Or an army. Eel mutters.
I'm not convinced we could. I'm not convinced there's enough humans left on Earth for an army of that size.
The Cardinal and all of Ascalon's leaders gruments at that. Commander Michigan twirls his current cigar. While Ascalon's non-terrifying squads are well trained, none of them can keep up with Tierfing Squadron currently, and most of them are on guard right now in case the red bitch to the north tries something funny.
Hmm.
And if what our Dracologist has figured out about her domain, we do not want to give her anything. He stops for a second, trying to figure out how to phrase something.
A sign of weakness.
Sign of weakness or research. Sign of weakness, yes, but I was thinking more material.
That is actually a good question. We theorized her domain was something relating to life and death. Yet
Extinction.
here we see but also life in some ways. Yet here we see an arc dragon that is resurrecting the dead, which means we may need to adjust our impression of her domain.
I mean, Extinction's domain is cyclical, like, as in the cyclical nature of life extinction, or its evolution.
How Mr. Mountain's revival stuff works with his domain is very simple. You guys just don't know what his domain is yet.
I figured,
Oh,
yes.
it's true for the platform.
It's very possible Mr. Mountain's domain is healing.
I'm gonna say a smile.
I'm also getting a lot of Chaos Tide vibes from him, so.
Thing is, it can't be healing because domains are how they enforce their will upon the world, not simply what they have power over. And the way he destroys things is not by healing or anything, or even relying on the black tears. It is through fucking stomping them.
I'm reminded of the phrase "before creation comes destruction."
Yes.
But that ties into the Scarlet Queen too much.
Either way, can we get to, like, actual shit now, please?
Yes, so to be blunt. So in order to engage. In addition, there is of course the matter of his sheer size making actual damage in issue. Were not for the fact that his seers believe there may be some spots on his body that are weaker than others. The eyes, for example. Enough damage to those may be able to bypass his hide and strike him down, but that would still be a very dangerous, risky task, especially with all the other factors. The remains of the church is willing to field heal what few knights it has left, give you access to our whatever ritual supplies you may need, and see what information our seers can gather as well. I personally believe the biggest objective should be the destruction of the Dark Lakes, purely so you don't have to do this more than once.
I would agree with that.
Any ideas?
First, I think we should. We are going to need some form of explosives for the dragon, but my research isn't far enough yet. Is there anything in the deep archives, the absolute deepest, about the Fey magic that was anti-dragon?
Cardinal Maximus lost for a second and shakes his head. We do not have any information on how they accessed that, I am afraid. My predecessors feared that possessing such knowledge would bring the wrath of the Wild Hunt down upon their heads.
Eel shrugs. You mean the magic I use?
Yours is not the same power level as they supposedly had.
Also, I'm going to note...
Yes, but she does actually use the same domain, if I recall correctly.
Okay, no. Io's magic is basically Io's magic is holy asterisk faith in humanity, tinged with what the Fae use.
What was that, Ghost? Can you repeat what the Fae use?
I just said what the Fae use.
No, like I didn't catch what you said the Fae use.
Okay, so Io's magic is holy magic asterisk faith in humanity, tinged with the kind of magic the Fae use.
Gotcha, which is where her Bane effect comes from.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
just a glimmer of it, though. No.
But she is actually familiar with what that magic feels like, I assume.
Lucine is starting to dabble in and trying to figure out its concepts. He has some understanding, but the problem is...
It feels very clean is the best way to describe it.
Very specifically, the issue also is Eel is an intuitive caster, whereas Lucine and Sion are knowledge casters. It's literally the difference. The best one I've known to describe it is the difference between Harry Potter and Hermione Granger. As loath I am as to use those terms, it's one of the better dynamics in that series.
I'm still making the face of utter disappointment.
And
Yes,
to be fair, Coast, you have seen my multi-page rants on that subject.
I guess I have. They're very good. Anyways, back on topic. So,
wait, what the fuck is unknown signals?
that was I didn't realize I brought that out of GM later. That was for something else. Don't worry about it.
Pay no mind to the irrelevant unknown signals that are relevant, but you're not allowed to know about them yet.
That was not supposed to be dragged out of the GM layer.
I'm snickering, Coast. Don't worry about it.
The coast is used to being
Have you
teased.
tried anything?
Anyways,
You tried anything at all on the lakes?
Jeremiah pipes up. Well, I was too shocked to use it during the outing with you. But my shield here is capable of channeling holy magic to fire a beam of light. I used
Does holy magic?
I did use some of it on the lake, and it made a decent stuff, and it made it made it explode.
Eel
Like
hums.
just a portion or the whole thing?
The portion they hit was bigger than the part the beam actually touched. Then the dragon crawled out of the lake. Then the dragon crawled out of the lake,
Right.
and then 3 dragons crawled out of the lake, and I had to leave.
Eel hums. If we can set up a ritual circle around the entire. She's mumbling this to Lucine and Sion. If you can set up an amplifier around an amplifying ritual around the lake, I can probably cast.
We wouldn't need the whole lake.
Yes, the point is, Eel is saying, if you can set up an amplifying ritual big enough, I can probably set up my own ritual at the same time to amplify one of my spells to the extent that, with the amplifications you provide, we can detonate the whole lake.
We're going to want midnight.
Wouldn't we be in the blast radius if we did that?
I can cast from far enough, especially with amplification,
also-
that it shouldn't matter. Oh
Makes
no.
sense.
Oh no,
Why-
Sylvan, no. We are not
Yeah,
making Frostmourn.
Yeah.
No.
What?
Wait.
Sylvan? What? Where?
Wait, what do you wait? Where do you mean? So, where was this discussed?
Draco.
Discord.
Yes.
The funny thing is, I know exactly how you think you can do it, and it's disturbing.
Well, you just need to have Eerie get the Artificer class so she can make a +5 magic sword, and then you
I
use
can't
a
make
ritual
+5s.
to. You can eventually.
No. Caps at +3.
Oh, really? I could have sworn I had +5.
Wait, what the? Where is it? Where is it? Is it in voiceless? I don't see.
Oh
where
no, it is only +3.
The
It's
No, I'm
in the
just saying that you can do
Drakopocalypse
it.
channel, Kos,
Okay, I'm
that you were just in. I think I know how we can make Frostmourn. Is
know,
right
I can
before
only
the
make
hug
stuff-
you gave Taco Cat.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Okay, +3 sword, and instead of
Why?
doing
Why
regular
would you do
stuff,
that?
you imbue it with a custom incantation that's a fusion of bind, outsider, or summon, and compel, and you're compelling with like a DC 25 will save the soul of whatever you're stabbing to go into the sword.
This is just Gaia-burn with extra steps. That ends horribly.
Anyway, more seriously,
Frostmourn is a
makes
horrific
sense.
sword, so like, yeah, that makes sense.
the
That
Black
you can make
Tears
it.
are perverted opposite of divine magic. Makes sense that they would behave like antimatter.
Yes.
At that, as you say, that Sister Sophia is gonna pipe in over the connection. I'm not sure that's exactly it.
No, Eel Butters.
But
It's
it's close
probably
enough for
who
government
the
work.
tears are coming from.
No, it might be even simpler than that. I think. You hear Sister Sophia's voice come out. We did remember he did research. He says Maximus's eye twitches again. Did research after we ran into that one bastard underneath the church over here. Its tears were filled with the dragon factor. It very well maybe a raw dragon factor is just explosive.
Could be. Eel mutters. But then
Only
the
we
very
had
air
that
would be
shit
prone
for
to
the
detonation.
Perhaps it's only if it's in high enough densities. The point is, it looks like if you hit the lakes with enough magics, if you cover the entire lakes or at least a big enough chunk of the lakes with magic, you might be able to vaporize the. Well, I don't think it's water, but I'll call it water, and render it dry, which should render it useless.
And that would be Eo has the deepest magic pool out of all of us.
Eel is the best caster in the group, considering all factors, period. Yes, she is.
I would disagree with that, but you do have the deepest pool.
She casts from Wiz. I'm pretty sure none of you have 28 int.
Nope.
Lucian is trying.
Oh, you mean by pure? Yeah. Well, I would.
Yeah, by pure
actually,
stats, yes, Eo is by far the best
If I
caster.
was bothering
It's
to
not
use
even a
enhanced,
contest.
I would be hitting 28.
Okay, so
What was that, dear?
You use enhance ability in combat. I don't. If I did,
Yes.
I would be 28.
Yeah, I figured.
So-
Eel Lake is kind of at this point. There is a genuine argument that Eel is constantly casting enhance ability on herself, but like not really.
yes, Kirov. Anyways, yes, Kirov. The St. George virus would have been very useful for this situation. just throw a bit of that shit into the dark lake and watch it go foos.
Yeah, but we don't have the black site didn't let us learn how to make it, but we know it's possible now, so we'll probably have someone working on it.
But we don't at the moment, so yes. The most effective solution would be creating a ritual circle using Sienna's eye anti-as amplifiers and firing at midnight, though I'm not certain how much we would need the midnight factor.
Jeremiah is going to pop up, going to hum. Big issue with that. Big issue with that. There's constantly a stream of bastards coming out of the lake, and from my experience is that messing with them is a quick way to get a bunch of dragons thrown at your face.
Well, you have a better solution to get enough power to take it out in one go?
No. What I'm saying is we should probably try to minimize the casters.
I don't know, French's launch sites?
Let me finish talking.
We should definitely try and minimize the cast times. Yes, Eel says, but we literally do not have a better solution.
The cast times and the casters. But it may very well turn into a defense mission, so to speak. And more pressingly, I know tactics and I know my brother. This is likely to piss him the hell off.
Oh, that goes.
It'll get harder the more we hit, I assume.
Right.
And he might decide to just start march back to Rome and finish what he started.
So
why Rome and not to us?
The Vatican City is in Rome.
Isn't it gone though? Didn't he destroy it?
The archive. The surface, yes. The underground bit's like the archive you're in right now. No.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, in that case, we will need to handle them as fast as possible in one chain and have a plan for the horde.
We'll need to use seed teleport so many times. Eel grumbles.
Well, that's easy. That's my specialty.
Eel, for context, does not actually like teleporting around like a maniac.
Understandable.
Lucy doesn't terribly like it, but she is perfectly comfortable with
I mean, the only
teleportation.
I can think of is maybe Luton France's launch sites.
I'm presuming any of them are still attacked.
Are you suggesting nuking the Dark Lakes?
Yes.
That might work. Can any of you read French?
Else.
I believe our succubus has a constant tongues effect.
Yep.
Yeah, that would do it. And then, important Kirov, how many launches could we get out at once?
Are you talking about silos or truck-based launchers? Because, like, most countries have both.
How many?
Oh no, I was thinking of just grabbing the warheads and setting them all to go off at the same time.
After throwing them in the lake.
I mean, we can just teleport them into the lakes, no problem.
Yeah, just have them all go off at
why
once,
not
so
just
there's no time
manufacture
to
a
react.
giant holy bomb and set them off?
Because stealing the missiles is way faster? We don't have the resources to make giant holy bomb?
Isn't it literally just use the church's enchanters to enchant a bunch of bombs to be holy instead of, just do a bunch of Moabs?
You don't need the holy.
Well, are we sure we don't need the holy? Is it worth trying? Because at that point, just use a giant bomb.
If you after our fire corner Maximus hums. Well, we are uncertain. I doubt it's purely holy. That's holy. Gets a response. He's gonna gesture to Germany. There is a pretty large from where we were. Our seers were pretty sure there was a surviving band of magic users somewhere close to Berlin. Then after the Dark Lake was was created. We know this because the dragon went to the town we believe they were based in and proceeded to level everything within 5 miles of it.
Did they get the group?
We believe so We believe so. Our seers haven't seen any sign of them yet. But
That just means they don't want to be found, Eel points out.
yes,
The bigger thing is, we
what I am
cannot
trying
do
to argue,
anything about them. They're-
here, he says, is that if it saw them as such a threat that I would have to hunt them down like that instead of leaving it to the hordes, as it marched from capital to capital, it may just need to be magic in general.
Eel nods. That was what I expected. Actually, question. Eerie, is there any reason why we couldn't set up a giant ritual to nuke all 7 lakes at once with one bolt of magic from Eel and Lucine amplified?
raw power.
Also range.
No,
Range
because
is
you'd use seed
would
teleport
be
to teleport the
using
instance
teleport.
of magic.
But no, it's a much simpler case of I cannot in good consciousness say we could get enough raw power.
Ley lines that you would literally have to sit on a ley line nexus to do this. That is the
Good word.
justification you'd have to give.
The advantage of the missiles to me is that we can take one more missile and use it on the horde.
Yeah, but we could do that with the magic too. That's kind of the thing.
It's much harder to target the magic to a moving target than it is to target just.
It's not really a moving target if you're telefragging them, though.
Well, it's more. No, it's doing the actual targeting.
Ah, that's fair.
As you guys talk and consider, Cardinal Maximus is just going to be doing the Gendo pose.
Is the Gendo pose of think?
Yes.
I would lean towards. Well, first up, Cardinal. Where are
In
the
character, Io is definitely leaning towards finding a Leyline Nexus and just telefragging everything from there. Out of character, I agree with Eerie that we probably shouldn't let the players have that level of bullshit.
Okay, so
for starters, I'm going to ask a simple question. Cardinal, where are the nearest ley line nexus?
well, the archives do have one. The problem is very simple. The ley lines have all.
Warwick would not let us.
No, much simpler. The ley lines have all withered.
Oh, fuck, right. Yeah, planet. Yeah, that would do it.
What was that, Arcos?
Basically,
The dragons are
lines
draining the energy from the planet, so it can't feed the ley lines.
the ley lines have withered. The one time one of our teams tried to tap into them anyways, well, we had to send in the knights to clean up the resulting mess.
They all became dragons, Io points out.
Yes.
Have we considered that
case-
we have vials of dragon's blood? As in archdragon's blood to power all this if need be?
This is also true. We could absolutely use Conquest's blood to do this.
Could, but we have very limited vials. I am more interested in using them as trade fodder. And also, this seems worse than if wasting resources we cannot easily replenish seems worse than just looting a silo.
Okay.
There's a set
Just
number of
assume-
nukes in the world.
3 things. The star targeted silos. We know this for a fact.
Yes.
I
But
doubt
also-
there are actually any intact warheads in the world at this point. Especially if the Arc Dragon had the mimetic level of knowledge required to hit literally every military installation in the world at once.
It did.
I'm going to point out that Michigan has confirmed the location of some regular warheads back in the US that are still there.
The point is, I'm getting very mixed messages from Kos of,
Okay, so basically, what my attempt for what happens to the silos is pretty simple. The Arc Dragon threw crystals at them, not to break the nukes themselves so much, but make it so they couldn't fucking shoot nukes. Make it so the silos themselves couldn't launch nukes at the Arc Dragon at the Star or neuter on the Arc Dragon, smother on the Arc Dragons in the cradle. That's basically what it did.
Gotcha.
And there's no guarantee that that's aim hit every spot where it was exactly aiming.
Not to mention those things are fortified as all fuck.
Yeah, no, it's more literally just there is an easier solution to the problem.
So how many vials of Conquest's blood do we each have?
I think
I
in
mean,
total,
Io hasn't used hers.
in total,
I have
I know
5
you.
still.
If I remember correctly, one of the vials was burnt. I think one of the vials was burned by Alexander's research.
Yep, that's correct.
Well, I think you traded off. No, you didn't trade off one. Did you trade off one of them? No, you traded off the heart to the demon guy, to the
We
faceless demon guy.
traded the heart.
No, I think they traded one to the Fae.
You didn't trade
No.
as much as use it as an offering to get contact.
Which still pisses me off, by the way. I do not like that you did that. I do not think the Fae deserve that sort of offering.
Whatever.
This is that's a me being annoyed at the Fae focus, but that's just normal.
Understandable.
But also, I'm going to point out, anyone still has certain biases that I have.
Yeah, I think you have I think you have 3 vials left in total. One for each of the casters.
I have
But how
5.
many vials would this stunt even take?
No, Sion literally has just said with her bookkeeping she has 5. So, yeah.
You cannot have 5 vials of Conquest. We only got 5 vials of Conquest.
I'm pretty sure I have 5 here, but okay.
I
So you need 2 or is it
I
3?
think that's because Sion was the person who was doing the harvesting, because the only C was crazy enough to touch the rapidly crystallizing corpse.
No,
No,
I
the
think
thing-
all of
they
us
got
said we
split up.
helped.
You all started helping after I started.
Yes.
Yeah, the way it was split up was, I believe, 2 went to Sion, 2 went to Lucine, and 1 went to EO.
Correct. Io still has not used hers.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So that means Sion's would have been, that means Sion's would have been the one that went to Alexander.
Which also doesn't make any sense, by the way. It would totally have been yours.
It seems we had a logistics hiccup. Whatever.
It's not that big of a deal, like I said.
So, what are you considering for your plan?
I mean,
the question is, Kos, how many? Before we even say about EO's plan, would 3 vials be enough to power the power Lake Killer? Because it's just Star Killer base, but with magic.
Okay, you have 3 vials of conquest. You're using 3 vials. What are the seeds you're using for this?
We would have to use let me double check our seed list. Teleport would be key.
yeah,
No,
but
wrong
teleport
seed.
we can do for free, essentially, from what I understand.
No, it adds up. Seeds add up.
But we can definitely mitigate some of that by using just straight up Dragon's Blood too. Conquest is for the bits that we cannot use anything else for.
So the thing is, it's just energy and teleport.
I thought we were complicated.
But
What else would it be?
Also, you said but. What's the
I'm-
but?
I'm sensing a butt.
No. Well, no,
If you
actually, the butt
just-
is very simple. The butt is very, very simple.
Oh.
Seed energy starts at about 10d6. You get either 1 or 2d6 per each DC.
Ah, gotcha. So if you do a higher DC, yeah, so it would just be Coast telling us what's the DC we need.
Okay, so what? So what's the base?
would
Okay,
be a
so
DC.
what's the DC? So what's the DC for doing one tick of energy?
A
No,
single
like-
tick is way.
No, basically,
Let me pull up the seed list. I'm trying to find it.
I'm trying to find the seeds. I'm asking you to give me the seeds base map so I can use that to calculate how many.
I'm trying to get to the seeds page because I don't have it
I'm explaining
memorized.
Kyle, so I can calculate what the DC
Yeah,
would
I
be to hit
figured it was
79.
that. So we can figure out the amount of DC we would need.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
So,
Why don't we just do both to make up the difference if one's not enough?
Well,
I mean, yeah, it's
if we're going for the silos, we should just go for the silos. I don't see a benefit.
Because each silo only has 1 nuke.
We don't need nukes. We just need warheads.
Each silo only has 1 nuke, which is 1 warhead, dear.
Like,
I mean,
saw
technically
them-
it can be more, and it might be an MRIG.
Yeah, if it's a okay, this gets into military stuff, but if it's an MRIG, there's multiple warheads. If it's an old school nuke, it's one warhead per ICBM. Each silo has one ICBM. Also, like, I'm not actually a fan of Nukem as a plan because, like, EO would rather actually not use Fallout on capitals that would probably want to be symbolically rebuilt.
Hussein does not want to use a nuke. She just wants to use regular missiles, cruise missiles and shit.
That's completely different and doesn't actually have the destructive power you'd need. That's the issue.
I don't know what the option would be, but basically, I want a bomb, not a nuke.
Give me a sec to calculate.
Okay, then you're literally just better off raiding an Air Force base, which would just give you enough.
So basically, you want you want the big thermal barracks.
Yeah, you want a Moab.
Okay,
so each DC would be.
So each extra bolt is worth plus 20. Is effectively plus 20. That'd be 20. There's 3.
I think Kos also found the thing.
Yes, I did. I found the thing. 1, 2, 3,
yeah, no, it's
4,
worse than I thought.
5,
we paid 2
6,
for 1
7, 8
for 1d6.
7 times 20 is Okay, yeah, okay. You would have to burn concrete. The DC for the bolts for firing 8 energy bolts, I think, would be a DC 140 or something like that.
Damn.
Oh, that is the numbers I was using for hypothetical Yahweh.
I know that's why I'm trying to think about this. Give me a second.
No, the thing is, Kos, how many dice of magic damage would we need to take out a lake?
You're not sure.
But because the thing is,
answer.
I cannot imagine that 10d6 is enough, so we would need to fire. We could, however, fire the same ritual a bunch of times. That's going to be more effective.
Jeremiah,
that would be more cost effective.
As you guys muse, Jeremiah's going to clear his throat and everyone muses. Couldn't we just go grab a sample from one of the lakes and use that to determine a baseline or whatever?
Sure, but we could also. I still say we should just go raid the Air Force Base for bombs.
I really would rather not. This is a personal thing, not like anything else, dear. To clarify, this is me trying not to drag on this arc specifically.
I think this is the faster solution.
How?
Because we raid Air Force, we get enough bombs, we ship all the bombs at once, and then we go fight the Arc Dragon. That's it.
Yeah, instead of having to do multiple hour-plus rituals while the dragons try and get our ass.
I hate this so much. It's so not actually sensical at all, and it pisses me off. But sure, whatever.
I'm sorry, Mio. I was trying to go for fantasy. Okay. Do you want me
You're fine. It's okay. This is very specifically bugging the military nerd, not anything else. Because you're fine.
Hey! At least you guys are doing what my original idea for how you're going to do that was.
Oh no!
Which would be teleport to each lake, fight the guardians, throw in basically blow up a lake, and blow up a lake. Tucker realizes what you're doing. Starts beeline towards the Vatican, so you have to start teleporting to the lakes and blowing them up before he gets to the Vatican one by one.
Yeah, this sounds way faster.
That would actually be more climactic in anime, so I wouldn't mind as much, ironically.
The problem is it would be agonizingly boring.
Yes! What you'd want to do as a GM in that case is, like, literally just summarize the fights at that point, because there's no reason to do it.
How I would do it, how I would probably do it, we do it in that case would be we would run through the fight.
Like the first fight.
Yeah, we run through the first fight. And then the rest of the fights, I basically just have you, for the rest of the fight, I just have you roll your best stats to see how fast you end the next fight.
That would be definitely a way to do it, yeah.
And depending on the better you do, the better you do, the farther away Mr. Mountain is from the Vatican when you reach him. Because if he reaches the archives when you piss him off, I'm going to be blunt. He's going to destroy the archives.
Yeah, which would not be great.
But no, I think the teleport bomb plan is better because then we can set the battlefield, prepare, etc., while he's marching towards us.
Very specifically, the reason I'm objecting to this is I don't really want to introduce telefragging.
Is it because you don't want the coast to use it against you?
Yes. Ironically, yes,
I mean,
because if we use it, the GM reserves the right to escalate back, and I do not want
why
to do that.
do I have wards specifically designed to counter
Teleport strike teams?
telefrag?
To be honest,
Like,
the problem with that is that a GM can always get past the wards you set up if they want to.
Correct.
Mhm.
I
More,
do
we
not
have
want to
to-
open the escalation can yet, thank you. We are still only on the second Arc Dragon.
It doesn't feel like that.
Well, then what the hell are we supposed to do?
Do what Ko said, blow them up individually.
It's up to you guys how you pull this off.
I'm
Again, the
fine
thing
with
is-
anything, to be clear. I am just cautioning that, like, as a GM,
But you see-
myself, I would totally, if you guys did do the telefrag plan, that would be a tool I could use as a GM now, too.
It would be, but I do think Coast could fuck us. Admittedly, Coast could fuck us up outside Ascalon HQ with it.
I mean, she could totally fuck us up inside it, too, let's be fucking real, because...
Oh, that fits into...
That would be
Lucian literally
wasting
built
effort
the
and
wall.
resources you guys put in. I wouldn't do that. If I
Yeah,
was
like,
going
the
to,
thing is, Lucy built the world explicitly knowing she had telefrag plans.
okay, so basically to explain, if you guys decide to introduce telefrag, to explain what I would primarily use it for, I wouldn't be using it primarily for bomb to the face because I don't think that would be interesting for the enemy to do.
No, absolutely not. It would also just fuck over the party completely because there's not much we can do to bomb to the face.
Yeah, no. What it would be more a teleport strike team into your face in the middle of the fucking morning.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So I have a better question.
I might have a better answer.
How can we get... So we cannot do it that... We don't want to open the telefrag can of worms. That doesn't mean we can't open the bombs the old-fashioned way can of worms.
No, you could absolutely. I would not at all object to teleporting the bombs. Okay, very specifically.
What, are we
the
gonna
issue with
loot a B-52?
That'd be cool.
just use the B-52 and send a bunch of cruise missiles at them. That would actually work really
Right.
well.
Right, that's my proposal, basically. Just cruise missile the shit out of things.
Cruise missiles could work.
Because that's how we open up the telefragging. We have several layers of defense against that sort of projectile. And also, there's already an Arc Dragon doing it, so this is us using enemy pulls.
Correct.
Wait, when did I have an Arc Dragon for a random missile again? I'm having the
Weaponry?
Oh right,
The weaponry is literally capable of doing that explicitly, so we wouldn't be escalating, we would just be reaching the level of escalation that the Arc Dragons have.
I have fun things planned for when weaponry arc rolls around. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, because of course it's probably gonna launch a nuke.
Yes.
We are totally
The answer
going to be fighting on a nuke against weaponry. Let's be real here, guys. This is a JRPG.
You're not wrong.
We
it
are-
is-
And
again,
Cons will have nobody to blame when we start using the nukes back.
suffering. Anyways,
Okay, anyway, so are we on agreement of the plan of get bombs, get thing to launch bombs, bomb them all at once?
Seems legit.
It's either that or telefrag, and I'm open to telefrag. I'm just trying to caution.
I'd rather not open telefrag when this dragon's thing is not air defenses.
No, I figured as much.
this dragon.
If we tried this on the Russian dragon, we would
I'm
get
going
AA
to be.
gun shit.
I'm going to be blunt. Weaponry actually can't do shit to US stuff if it's using Russian shit. I'm going to be completely blunt. We have seen this in
I'm going
Ukraine.
to point out that its blood tried turning into swords. It can probably print US shit.
Oh, absolutely. But will it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Because otherwise, Coast would not.
Yes, you must remember. This is the dragon. You're talking about the dragon who, when Alexander tried to mimic its dragon factor, the resulting experiment tried to fucking stab him.
Anyway,
Anyway, so yeah, what's your plan?
Miho, what is the best way to get the bombs and launch the bombs?
Okay, so you have a few options. We could go back to the US, raid a bunch of air bases, hope there's a bunch of intact stuff. Obviously, because this is just for your information, if you're letting the dragons fly at speeds that they can threaten modern jets, you're making the dragons too overpowered. This is just general statement.
Okay,
Here, focus.
Yes, I'm focusing. I'm telling you, the best option is to go loot a bunch of US air bases. The other option is to loot France's air bases. The option after that is to loot Britain's air bases. And then from there, you go to, I don't know, Poland. Poland's another good one. Ukraine's another good one, etc., etc., etc. Munitions are not that hard to find. Literally everyone has them, including Italy.
Goldman,
when you mention
check
Britain, when you mention hitting Britain, Cardinal Maximus frowns. I am not sure if that's necessarily a wise move.
What did the British do this time?
After the Ark Dragon created the Dark Lake and lake that used to be Paris, it took a break from its march towards the coastline of the English Channel that had the least distance between the mainland and England.
Yes.
And then proceeded to fire its breath weapon across the English Channel for 24 hours straight.
Okay. Mr. Goldman, can you check all the countries EO listed for what has one of the more intact air bases that we could actually get enough bombs at?
Mr. Of course, it might take me a day or two to sort through everything, but yes, I do believe I can do. Do you want me to look at the United Kingdom as well and see what that bastard was shooting at?
Yes.
Not particularly.
Yes.
I
am overruling you. Yes.
Let me clarify, please. Get us a good airbase trade first so we can start doing that, and then look at the UK.
Got it. That's good. That'll be my part of the plan.
Thank you, sorry.
That's why I was saying, once I processed, I was like, just basically, we are trying to get the bombs going quickly, and then he can look at the UK.
Yes, because we'd rather not finish destroying Warsaw and then make another lake for us to have to destroy before.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we are going to bomb Warsaw anyway because we need to throw one of the bombs at its ads.
At its face.
It is like it has like 100 ads.
No, the Horde.
The Horde. Also, I mean, throwing a bomb at its face wouldn't be a bad idea either, because it would still hurt.
Oh no, I mean at its face because it's the biggest, slowest moving target and catch everything else in the splash.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I will know on the.
That is actually the.
What's wrong, Zhao? What happened?
Yeah.
And it's as I'm waiting for y'all to answer, I will know when it comes to the Fire Dragon thing. My basic rule of thumb right now for Fire Jets is Fire Jets are faster than the average dragon. When it comes to bullshit Draconic hero units, on the other hand.
Oh, so we're gonna have to fight that jet dragon from Monster
You might have to
Hunter
fight a Valstrax XP, you might not. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, don't forget about the unique dragons, that even the ones that aren't dragons.
No, I'm not, if there's a Valstrax coming after us, I won't actually complain, because that's a Valstrax, and that's just fucking cool. But, normal dragons, specifically.
Yeah, normal dragons, basically, normal dragons are slower than Fire Jets, it's the exceptional ones you have to worry about.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, but can they outrun a Sidewinder?
I'm not certain. Anyway, so the plan is you're going to be looting.
So yeah.
Okay, so Commander Michigan is going to nod. We'll call this. He looks to Cardinal Maximus. How does Operation David and Goliath sound? Maximus just hums and nods at that.
Called Operation David.
Yes,
Operation Deuces.
Wrong.
Maximus shrugs.
Um,
I like the sound of Operation David. I am mixing up everyone's voices tonight.
Io will be privately calling this Operation Fuck the Church in her head.
Understandable. Have a nice day. But yeah, okay, so this was not what my initial combat prep was spec'd for.
Oops.
I originally thought you guys were going to take up Jeremiah's offer and go grab samples from the Dark Lake in Switzerland.
But we jumped straight to the heavy ordnance.
Yes, we jump straight to the heavy ordnance. So is everyone okay if I
Also, fun fact.
So is everyone okay if I call the session here for tonight? Someone write a
Go for it.
TDLR in the chat for Astley, and as well as what the plan is.
And then I assume you are going to use the Hellspawn Dragon at the mill base.
No, Hellspawn's for later. I'm pretty sure.
No, that is for
Well,
later.
the thing is, the military base is probably the only fight we are doing for the Arc Dragon.
You're assuming that it'll be relevant in this arc.
Yeah, yes, I am, for obvious reasons.
Because Cause is an ADHD gremlin.
I have plans and such. Basically, I was expecting for this arc to take longer than it's shaping up to be. I keep underestimating how fast you fuckers think the speedrun because you keep combining magic and tech in ways I don't see coming.
The best aesthetic.
This isn't even combining, we're just teching it here.
You get my point.
No, we are actually combining. We're using Seed Teleport to get around.
Yeah, we're using Steam Teleport to just cheese logistics.
Yeah, and I keep needing to account for that. My original intent was for you to have to do like a little mini arc of fighting the different Dark Lakes bullshit and all that.
Clockwork Punk and Gear Punk. I hate all the punks actually, even Cyberpunk. I don't really like punk.
Anyways.
Punk is based.
Anyway, so Coast is going to say this. Coast is going to end the session in 5. Someone again write a TDLR in the chat. I'm going to do my stream, good night everyone and stream plans and all that routine. So first up, thank you to everyone who came. I hope you all had a good day. Plan for the rest of the week is again pretty simple. Tomorrow, if I have the energy, I'll stream Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter or my first. Quarter 7 for. I'll stream something if I have the energy tomorrow. Who knows? Who the fuck knows what? My ADHD does, and then it doesn't. Assuming I have.
By the way, Coast?
What? Yeah.
I want to check something specifically on the resurrection rules you were talking about.
After I'm done,
Because
let me
this
finish.
one. Yes, sorry.
Let me finish ending the stream first, please. Anyway, right. Train of thought.
Yes.
If I don't stream beforehand, on Saturday I will be streaming more Punishing Grey Raven. Anything else this week? No, I don't. No, I don't think. I don't think I have Sess and Lancho have met this week. Yeah, that's it. Thank you all for coming. I hope you all had a good time. Bit of a shorter session and a kind of a different session than what we usually have, partly because everyone wasn't here. But I'm glad we were just able to have a session tonight, even if it was just a lot of talking and planning and such. I hope everyone had fun. Have a good night. Thank you all for coming.